Emo Social Club. We're on the bus. We're live in person with Spencer and Chris from Underoath.
Horns.
Our second interview with Chris.
Woo!
First interview with Spencer.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Emo Social Club. We're going to start out with a couple quick questions. What is the most emo song you are listening to right now?
Hold on. While you're talking, I'm going to look at my library.
I don't even know what
Emo
is anymore.
Emotional.
Yeah,
What
you know, it's
emotion
subjective.
is.
It could be a rap song that even makes you feel something.
Yeah, emotion.
So, a song that makes me feel something.
Sure.
Okay.
I recently went and saw a movie called Lurker, and the score for that, Kenny Beats had a lot to do with that. There's a lot of emotional underpinnings to it, and I've been listening to that a lot on this tour. Lots of emotion.
I don't know. I mean, most of my stuff is not very emo.
Emotions.
I had to listen to the
That's pretty emotional.
Not to look over your shoulder or Spotify, but I do see Coldplay on there.
yeah.
Oh no.
I mean,
Don't laugh at Coldplay.
no,
They're
I
the
love
fucking
Coldplay.
shit.
She's been giving me shit about Coldplay. I love
years.
Coldplay.
The first
Coldplay's
two
good.
records. So my wife sent me this song yesterday. She's like, "It's probably my favorite Coldplay song ever." We had a whole conversation about it. "A Rush of Blood to the Head."
Yeah.
It's in the top 3 or 4 Coldplay songs. I had to jam this Underoath "Bring Me the Horizon" song 6 million times last week because I had to go out and sing it for the first time.
Amazing song though.
Were? Do you ever listen to Were? It's more shoegazy.
I have not.
Yeah. So this is all like slow shoegazy stuff. Yeah. I guess the Coldplay song would be that be emo?
That's the emo one. Yeah.
Let's bring it all together. Then one of the other questions we want to ask is, what makes Underoath so emo?
I don't think we're emo.
It's just Chris.
Yeah, it's just me, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
So emo to me, like when we were kids, it was different from what it is now.
Right.
To me, what emo is like what I would have considered, I guess, more pop punk,
Mhm.
like Warped Tour music
Yeah.
Yep.
But emo to us when we were growing up was a lot different than that.
Yeah.
So, and then when someone says Underoath is emo, to us we're just a hardcore band, heavy, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't register to me.
Yeah, Whenever I hear emo, I always tend to think more like Promise Ring type stuff, like actual like emo. But I get that that's not a thing anymore.
Circuit,
Yeah.
Mock
Oh, wow.
Orange,
Yeah.
Earl,
So, but
early Jimmy Eat World.
yeah,
Would you say that those have had influences on Underoath's music though?
yeah. I mean, I don't think it's one of those things where, in my opinion, anyway, it's like every band is like just a sum of their
Yeah.
collective influences. And for us, like if you look at bands like Jimmy Eat World, that band in particular has had an influence on all of us. And you might not listen to what we're doing and listen to Jimmy Eat World and be like, yeah, that's it. But
These are the same.
it's in there for sure. Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy Eat World is that one band where there's no one writing music who is not somewhat picking up what Jimmy Eat World did at any time in their career and putting a little bit of it in their music.
And I guess if you're just speaking solely lyrically, then obviously like lyrical themes are emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shouldn't all music be, I guess? Unless you're just flexing, which
Yeah.
is a popular
Yeah.
thing to do.
Which,
But
I mean, you can either flex or you can party or you can also cry while partying is also one that we've seen.
Top 3 cry while partying bands.
Yeah.
Listen.
I don't know any. I would love to hear one because I'd be down with that.
I feel like there are a lot of newer like emo rap artists.
Yeah, I would say Nothing Nowhere probably.
Nothing Nowhere, yeah.
Cry while partying.
do they have a party element?
I feel like you could just. I'm a very firm believer that you can party and shake ass to most songs if you really believe in yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I back that.
They got that song
Okay.
Lights. They got a couple. Nothing Nowhere has a couple like dancey songs.
Okay.
And it's like Joe does not seem to me like somebody who's not writing hard on his sleeve at all times, even if there's beats.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah. See?
When's that collab coming out?
With
With Nothing Nowhere.
didn't we already do one?
I feel like you did the
We did.
the but it was like the
And I
metal
hung
record.
out with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy. I like him.
He's great.
And we already did one of those.
Yeah. I just met him a couple weeks ago, and he was like just so nice. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's
good
hard
guy.
for me not to say like your music is incredible. So anyway, here we are sitting with Underoath. It's hard for me not to say that your music is incredible.
Thank
Thanks.
I get to
I
keep
like
saying
it too, but I'm biased. So
you. We don't make things that we hate. So
Yes.
Okay, that's refreshing. Reassuring here.
Last year was the 20-year anniversary of They're Only Chasing Safety. You did that whole
Correct.
tour. And I know that you guys put out a new record, and obviously you've been talking a lot of it in interviews you've been doing lately of this new record, of new music, of how Underoath is moving forward into the new generation of Underoath, the new era of Underoath with this new music. How would you say that like that album, They're Only Chasing Safety, and celebrating the 20 years has like influenced how you make new music now, how you go on tour now, how you do things now 20 years later?
oh man, that's a big question. I mean, how it's influenced, I think that's a hard thing, but like that's a hard thing to connect, but just the fact that like we wouldn't be doing anything now if it weren't for that record. Like everything after that record is because of that record, you know? And yeah, you can't really deny that. So I look at it more as not so much how did it influence or affect what we do now, but it's like the fact that people connected with that record so much made it to where we could do everything after. So it's, yeah.
And I think a lot of how it would influence it, I guess, was I think every record we put out, we learn something from, and we typically learn the things that we don't want to do again. Not necessarily like, oh, kids really liked that, let's do that again. And I think at earlier years that maybe created a little bit of like, I don't know, like resentment's the wrong word, but like doing thing, like going too far. And then going back and like, and we've never not played songs off Chasing Safety, and every record we've done, if we're headlining, we're playing something from every album we have. We always do that. But like being able to, I think starting with Rebirth, like playing the songs and being like, hey, that was when we were like 18, 19 years old. We can celebrate this, see how it affected people, take the positives from that, and just move forward. Like not going like, hey, we need to go back there and do that again. Like that was something we did when we were children, and now we're men, and we're from every album we learn like, okay, what we don't like about it. So
Have you started to think about what you have learned from this most recent album that you guys have put out, and what may be also changing for any music or recording that you do going forward?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is we were actually just having a discussion about this not long ago, because we're always thinking about new music, always thinking about new stuff, and like I think it was Aaron the other day. It was just like, I want to just get into a room with no electronics. Like I want to just have heads and drums and just be in a room and see what happens there.
Which we were supposed to do for this record.
Yeah.
We were originally going to, I don't know if you were in on that conversation.
Yeah.
We were originally going to go to that cabin and do it like as we did when we were kids, like before you can record every practice and play like a garage band and bring that element into it and then add the next element. But we got there and we started making music. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, then we're laying down vocals and like we're just building so fast. And I think this time we really want to do what we said we were going to do last time, which is try. Because, like...
You have to put, creative limits, I think, are important.
Like when we were making Define the Green Line, like the practices were like me and Tim on guitar, Grant on bass, Aaron on drums, and vocals weren't even a thought until later. And that's how those riffs got to be so weird, I feel like. And now it's like, that doesn't really happen. We're in the computer, we're mapping out the song, we're laying down vocal ideas right off the rip, which is cool. I think we'll still do some of that, but it'd be nice to try, I guess the old way too.
Yeah, I think I was talking to somebody the other day about, in general, artists having constraints, whether they're externally imposed or internally imposed, tends to get the best results, I think, because you have like amazing film directors who had constraints and they made some of the best movies ever, and then they get like a blank check from Netflix and say, do anything you want.
Yeah.
go to the moon if you want, and it never ends up being what you want it to be. And even I would say even those directors look back on it like, oh, maybe like having those constraints is a good thing. And if you look, I mean, so many artists will say the same thing. It's like, oh, like just giving yourself limitations and saying like, okay, we're going to create within this box. Then that makes it to where you can do that. So I think some sort of self-imposed creative limitation would be cool.
Do you guys find that?
Throw all your keyboards out.
Yeah. So I'm just out of it.
When you said like no computers, no electronics, I'm like, what's Chris gonna do?
He's on the chopping block.
Yeah, I'm on my way out. Yeah. Tim Cook's going to replace me.
It's always the guy who can be replaced by a MacBook that gets the first acts.
It's me.
I mean, you've been very like kind of outspoken in a lot of interviews recently, and Aaron is the one that keeps coming across my For You page, but I'm sure this is a sentiment that is going throughout the band where it's like now you have that opportunity to kind of do whatever you want, and saying like you can do whatever you want, but also putting some restrictions on that. Like, how do you as a band, think about making music now in 2025 while also being like given that freedom creatively, but maybe like the budgets are small, or maybe it's like, no, we have to put limitations on ourselves because we want to.
I mean, I think the best answer is just like, we don't know. Like, it seems like, in my opinion anyway, it just kind of changes week by week of like, hey, what are we feeling right now? Like, one thing that it is always a constant with us is we are always writing what we want to write in that moment. It's just a matter of what moment is that going to be in, like where is our headspace going to be in that moment. And
I read the interview with Trent Reznor years ago that he was, because I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, and there's always like the record's either super rock heavy or very electronic heavy. And someone in an interview asked him one time, and he was like, it really just depends on where I'm at, like how I'm feeling that day when I start to make that next record. And when the first 2 or 3 songs are created, once I have one, then I'm like, that's a keeper, directs the whole rest of the recording process and writing process. And I feel like that's where Underoath is really, we do this all the time. We'll sit around and talk about it and nothing fucking changes unless we get in the, getting in the, less talk, more action. Cause the one thing I've learned over the 21 plus years of doing this is like, we'll do this all day long and talk all these ideas, fight through things and cry and discuss it. Like, doesn't change anything until we get in there. And I was like, now are you going to actually do what you said you were going to do? Or are we just going to go default back to what's comfortable and easy, or what's fast, or what's modern? So really, we can have this conversation 5 more times between before we make the next record. And I really don't know until we get there. Like right now, I'm like, oh, it's going to be more trippy, like a little bit more experimental. I'm really feeling that right now. Like the songs I'm making by myself are a little bit more weird and avant-garde, and like have dove back into like some of the like Radiohead stuff that influenced me when I was younger, and like revisiting a lot of albums. I have a vinyl collection, and I'm like rebuying some stuff that I've lost over moves over time. It's just different things that throw me back, and like some of the stuff that influenced me when I was a little bit younger, and new things now that influence me. I'm like, I just want to get weird with stuff and just have fun making art. But who knows, by the time we actually get to a moment in time where we're like, well, let's sit down and write some things, where we'll be at that moment. Something could have changed in our scene. Something could have inspired someone in a hip hop or R&B world, or like someone could have heard something on an EDM track that's like, man, that like changed the way I want to like approach something. We don't know. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but it's never gonna. We will see what the next Underoath record sounds like when it happens. That's how I feel like even our band conversations lately, I'm just like, do I even need to say anything right now? I know what we're all gonna say, and I'm like, okay,
20 years in.
Let's wait a few months, and when we get in the room, we can talk about it. We shouldn't. We should just play about it. Yeah. Like speak with your instrument, speak with your ideas, and less of this.
Less around in a circle.
Yeah.
Just let it go, see what lands. And it's kind of like throwing something in, like throwing a dart and seeing where it hits, say that one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now, thinking about what you just said about what's going on within the scene and different things that can influence and change the dynamics, what are some things recently that have potentially happened in the scene that are things that maybe are starting to cause a little bit more discussion amongst yourselves, or thinking about what could lead to a little bit more of a change forthcoming in some of your writing, some of the way in which you record, or even how you kind of perform and interact with fans as well?
Honestly, I don't know if there's anything like,
I think it's similar to the
It- yeah. Well, I mean, I was just gonna say I don't think there's anything necessarily like, oh, this is like going on, so this is going to change what we do. Like, in my opinion, just for us, it's just a creative thing where like I'll hear something and I'm like, oh man, like, what if we did, what if I did something like that, but then I did this with it? Like, it's more so a creative thing from just hearing music as opposed to, oh, this is a trend or this is a thing that's going on. Like that's never a discussion amongst us. It's those type of discussions with us are always rooted in like, hey, did you hear this? Like, did you hear this song? Did you hear this record? And then we'll get excited about, something fresh. And that's really where those discussions start.
And I think if you follow what's popular, you're always 5 years too late. Like you can't like that stuff doesn't affect the way we write. I think it's exciting when you see a friend win, a peer do something that they haven't done, like reach new heights and reach more people. And I think it's exciting. I don't think it changes the way we write or what we're going to create, but I think it's cool to see that, bands like Knocked Loose, for example, with no choruses and like something that heavy took over. Turnstiles, like not recent, but over the last couple of years, like just that they've been a band for a long time and then it just popped. I think those things they're encouraging. They're encouraging, yes. I think it wouldn't change the way we write. I think it's really cool to see it though. I'm like, that stokes me out that a bunch of young kids love Knocked Loose because that means they're listening. It's not just what Octane or FM radio or what Spotify playlist tells you to, because those songs aren't verse, chorus, produced to the moon. It's like these kids making heavy shit that they think is cool, and then it catches on. That makes me happy because I go, oh, there's hope.
Yeah.
And that's no offense to anyone that writes structure songs either. I love, you just saw my Spotify playlist. I love all sorts of stuff. But yeah, I think that stuff's more encouraging and exciting to see that the scene isn't just stuck in one rut and there's not like one way out.
The kids are all right. I've been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like the discoverability factor is definitely something we had lost for a long time. And I feel like you said with Knocked Loose, with Turnstile, there's a lot more of that lost art form starting to regenerate, but just in a different way. So.
And a lot of those kids like have no fucking clue who we are, which is exciting as well in its own regard, because it's like, that's like when we were coming up and it was like when bands like Underoath, August Burns Red, Norma Jean, and we're all excited on Poison the Well and Botch and ISIS and The Refused, and the kids that were coming to our shows hadn't heard those bands yet. But then what happened to Refused later? It was so popular they came back and had this huge. So it's all that stuff's exciting to see, just music spreading that's not just made for the consumer.
Exactly.
Right?
No, I definitely understand what you mean. We've talked so much about, especially like octane rock core almost at this point, where we see that verse, chorus, and we hear a lot of the instrumentation be almost so similar that I would listen to one song and say, isn't this insert whatever band here?
It feels like it drives, like to me, hearing it as a fan, I hear what is then being played as like a conscious choice in the studio to make something that sounds like everything else. That's like, we want to just fit in with this because if we don't, we're going to be
left behind,
pigeonholed into something else. Yeah. Or, there's only so many people going to Warped Tour that are going to still care about hardcore bands on a stage at Warped Tour. Now they're like, I hear it on the radio, I hear it on Spotify, and I want it to kind of sound like everything, just mesh together. And I want to know the difference between Underoath and Silverstein. I just want to hear bands that play music, and it all sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, I think that's kind of always been happening in one way or another. But I think, I mean,
I was talking to somebody the other day about like back in like the late 90s when Korn and Limp Bizkit were, starting to do their thing, and like how many bands after that were like, oh, well, that's what we're doing, And I think there's an amount of them that were just like influenced and inspired by those bands. Like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. But then there's also all the other bands that were like, oh, well, if that's what we
Put some
have
rapping
to
in
do.
there.
Yeah. Throw some rapping, get some record scratches.
Yeah.
You know,
Hire a DJ, hire a rapper.
there we go.
DJ,
Yeah.
rapper.
Technically.
Yeah.
I guess technically.
We got this.
We have the ingredients. We just have to put them together the right way.
Biscuits back, the first number
The
one.
Biscuits
Yeah.
back.
I read
Yes.
this morning, the first number one song in 26 years or something.
Yeah.
Ladies.
I think it's so funny too with the title of it. I think it's called like Making Love to Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
Very
too.
sick.
I think that's
Yes.
kind of why.
Very sick.
No, it's awesome because he's definitely.
Yeah, of
No,
course.
I remember seeing some discourse online and people were like, is it really because he really likes him or really hates him? And I said, I really need you to put your critical thinking hat on for
Yeah.
5 seconds.
If you put the name of an artist who's controversial, or at least opens up the door to controversy, I don't really think you're in love with that artist.
He
the
says love
title.
in the title. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
really
then I'm like,
confused.
It doesn't
Mm.
matter that what he did years ago got him taken off of the radio for a year.
I don't think it was supposed to be cryptic at all.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
so.
the thing. It's like it's pretty straightforward. There's no
That's
there's no
the
underlying
bargaining
undertone
stage
there.
of grief. That's the bargaining stage to say no, Morgan Wallen's fine, and Fred Durst loves Morgan Wallen.
I just think maybe we need to show kids that 7 Stages of Grief video from like Adult Swim from years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they showed that to me in high school health class to process grief. I think we need to bring that
Adult
back.
Swim.
Yes.
Bring back Adult Swim. Let's
I
go.
loved Adult Swim.
Yeah.
It's all Family Guy now.
Yeah. I know.
I put it on at a hotel recently. We were in Indiana. Or no, I was in LA. That was with Alice. So yeah. That was my friend in LA. And I was like, I'm just trying to see if Family Guy is on. And yep, just constant
Just
Family
always,
Guy
yeah.
on Cartoon Network.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. But
yeah. Look,
I do like Adult Swim, but Family Guy is fine with me.
It's no Too Many Cooks or like unedited footage of a bear, but
yeah.
you guys have seen unedited footage of
Yes,
a bear,
of
right?
course.
That is one of the best things ever. Like, I love it so much.
Kodak, how much time have we been recording? Okay. Can we ask you just a couple more questions?
Please.
Number one, you've been very outspoken in some interviews. I watched one with Emo Night North from the All My Friends Festival or whatever the Canadian festival was, where it's like you're not really thinking. Yeah,
It is
you
All
do
My
so many
Friends
interviews.
Fest.
All My Friends Fest in Canada, and you were speaking like when you go into now, you're like, we don't care about the TikToks, we don't care about all this. As a band for 20 years, I think that's very fair. I want to ask for newer artists that are coming out, from what you've learned as a band and from what you've learned being a band for 20 years. How would you say like newer artists or bands that like you want to grow and see some more music from and see careers from? Like, what would you give as advice to them?
My honest belief is that any advice that I would personally give based on our experience coming up is not, most of it is not valid anymore. Because it would always be get in a van, go play shows, be good live. And that the putting on a good show, number one. Like you're never going to get somebody to connect with you more than them standing in front of you and seeing you play a good show. I maintain that that's the number one thing. But we're not in a world anymore where it's okay, get in a van, play shows for 5 years in front of nobody, and then you're going to naturally grow. Like if you look at if people are trying to like grow and get bigger, like if that's the goal, that's not what you do. If you are just doing it because you have to and you can't not do it and you're just like, I feel this in my soul, this is what we're going to do, that's what you do. But if I am convinced that I have no advice to give on how to become a quote unquote successful band, because it's like that was so not anything that we were paying attention to. So it's like for us, of anybody to be like, okay, well, here's how you become successful, because we were literally like, if I'm looking back, we did so much stuff that if you were trying to become big and successful, you would have done the opposite of what we did. So it's like we got so lucky in so many times, and that's
My turn.
all right.
I like the clap handoffs, like popcorn
Here's
next.
my my honest take on it. Number one, do it if you love it, and only if you love it, and it's something that you, like Chris said, you feel like it's in your soul. You have to do it. You have to make these songs. You have to create this music, because odds are you're not going to break through the algorithm, and the odds are you're not going to be on an amphitheater tour. So do it if you love it. If you're doing it because you honestly love it and you become good at it, then pay attention to every means of getting your music in front of people, and that's being good live, touring, having a great band with you, and then all the way down to the social media shit. And I'll tell you why. I sat when Underoath disbanded, and this was back in 14, 15, before the blow up of most of this shit. I sat with the head of every record label there was, who loved the music I was making, looked at me in the face and said, "What are you worth?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I mean, Underoath sells out tickets across the world. I've got all this music I'm working on. I was like, "But what's your social media at?" I was like, "Well, I don't do social media." And they said, "Well, we don't sign artists that don't do social media." And this was in 2015. I lost 3 or 4 different, I mean, we're talking the big names. I'm not going to name them out loud, but I sat in there and I had them look me in the face and tell me, because of my following on here, it's a no. And I always ignored it. And I ignored it. And even as Underoath got back together, I ignored it. I am not going to be, we have a band coming out on tour with us. The singer's got 1 million followers, can't sell 100 tickets. We have 20, 40, 50,000 followers. We can sell at every room in America. Why does it fucking matter? Why does it fucking matter? Until the other day, we're 2 or 3 records in after COVID, and actually hearing heads of record labels be like, it used to be Spotify, now it's TikTok. The first unlock to get your song, to even get to a playlist, it has to be popular on TikTok. To get it to XM radio, it has to be popular on Spotify, which has to be popular on TikTok first, then to FM, so on and so forth. There's so many steps to it. So my advice to people, number 1, do it because you fucking love it, because you have to. I've been writing songs in my bedroom since I was in 1st grade. Number 2, if you really care, work on all the elements, because now we're playing catch up. What you said earlier about us saying that we don't give a shit about TikTok, it's not true anymore, because we have literally had a wake-up call. And because we idolize people like Trent Reznor and Tom York and, Maynard from Tool. Like, mystery in rock and roll was sick. And I wanted to keep that alive for as long as I could. You can't. That's not the world we live in. So, my advice is don't be too cool to put your, it's free advertising. Someone broke it down to me like that. It's like, why is TikTok so cheesy to you? You can make a music video. Why can't you make 20-second hundreds of them? I'm like, I don't know. I just, they're like, it's free advertisement.
Yeah, and I think also a big part of it is like doing what, in general, doing what feels good to you. Because there are so many bands that, like I just came across this band, Rome's, semi-recently.
Yeah.
Their stuff
Really
is
good.
ridiculous. And their video stuff that they're putting out, so much talent, so much thought put behind it. But it's like, if you look at it as like online content, it's like they're busting their ass, but it rips. And it's like they're not like, sitting there doing like a cheesy TikTok dance. They're doing their thing. And for us, like, we're really big on, we're going to do we're just going to show people who we are, and we're going to do what we do. And if the people that dig it, great. And yeah.
And I've watched the videos, right? Like the artists begging to not have to do this. Like, like most artists are introverted, like, oh, would you ever see Kurt Cobain doing that? No. But like, like all these, I've seen a lot of artists talking to the camera about how like, I'm an artist, not a content creator.
Yeah.
But my advice, after like, we've been diving into it pretty heavily over the last couple of months, because we realized that's where our business is very much lacking, is online. We do great out in the real world, but there's a big world online. You can reach a lot of other people. So I've been watching all these videos of people begging and pleading to not have to do it. But it's like, I think there's a lot of artistic people, yes, are typically more like, what's up? I'm on the camera. Like that guy.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, gamer?
Yeah, that's typically not your super artistic human being, right? But I've watched a lot of videos where you can still be creative and artistic in your social media and not have to be this zany, goofy guy on the screen that everyone wants to follow because it's funny. because being funny right now is like, oh, that's what everyone's watching. Like, let's find. I'm seeing a lot of younger, cooler, like, guitar forward bands that are very artistic. That they're some of the best front men are still shy behind closed doors because all that energy's for out there. They're making these artistic videos that like they're cool, and you're seeing cool videos with cool music. Cool, I want to watch that. It doesn't have to be what everyone's doing. Like what Chris said, like if you're comfortable with it, that there's a lane for it. You can just kind of find it, and there's always an audience for you. Like comparison is the enemy. Like if you keep comparing your audience to someone else's, like that's maybe not your lane though. Like your lane could be 100 kids a night across the whole globe, or it could be 100,000 kids across the whole. You never know. But if you're doing something that you love and you believe in it, then the more power to you. If you're doing it and you hate it, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons, just like getting money for the wrong reasons, the wrong way. Like if you're doing it honestly, then good for you. And people buy into that honesty. I mean, look at this venue tonight. Jacoby is the best dude ever. Honest, is that guy. On stage, off stage, that is him. 100%. He's never changed who he was in front of the camera. TikTok, before TikTok, that's him. And it wins because people believe in honesty, and whether they know it or not, it's infectious.
I mean, he's definitely connected with enough people that they have named their children after Jacoby Shaddix.
Hell yeah. Some people have named their dogs after me.
Oh.
I met some people at meet and greet.
That's
so like,
close enough.
Like,
okay, there's probably a baby out there named Spencer.
I named my dog after you. I was like, yes.
Got it. I've met a handful of people because we've interviewed Chamberlin a few times. We love those guys, and they're like, I named my daughter Chamberlin. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of hard. But also just thinking about just the kind of genre that we are in now. We're in this kind of weird atmosphere, and also thinking back to where originally Underoath started was in that Christian rock genre. Comparing to what it was way back then when you guys were starting in it compared to what it is now, how is your kind of perspective or thoughts and feelings on it, especially because you're not really prescribing to that genre title anymore?
Are you speaking specifically like Christian?
Like Christian rock.
Cornerstone Music Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't really been that band in so long. Like, I think it's been.
We're like, let's just be a band.
Yeah, and like I honestly don't even know what that is anymore. In respect, it's like if you were to tell me like, hey, like who are the good like Christian rock bands, I'm just like I don't know any,
Yeah.
We also weren't really in the Christian scene. We did play Cornerstone, but that wasn't the only one. We did regular tours like we do now.
Yeah, we have always been very much we will play in front of anybody and we'll do our thing wherever people will have us, So like in the same year, we were going on tour with, we did like Mayhem tour with Slipknot, but then there'd be some Christian festival that wants to book us and we would go and play that. And it's like, we're just doing the thing that we do anywhere that we can do it. So yeah, I'll say, I think all of us I can speak for all of us when I would say like, we just don't know what that is anymore. And like, it's not really, us as far as like a scene or a genre goes. Yeah.
There was like, when like Tooth and Nail was popping, like there was like a lot of bands like when I was going to shows before I was in Underoath that I didn't know they were Christian bands until later, because there was just like kind of Tooth and Nail came in and like signed a bunch of like hardcore bands, and then you found out that later they were Christian bands or whatever. But
yeah, I feel like I've been seeing like Flyleaf going a little bit more viral on TikTok, and people say, I didn't know this was a Christian band. And I'm like, you know what? This is the same feeling I also had in 2009 when I was starting to get into music in general.
I didn't know they went viral on TikTok, because when I flew out to sing with Bring Me the Horizon at Louder Than Life. Flyleaf played. My wife she might be mad at me for saying this, but she was a big fan.
Okay.
And she was like, so can we go see? Because it's the original singer.
Yeah, it's
Lacey
like Durham, yeah.
So we had just gotten there. I had to do like a sound check on the side. We like ran over to catch the last 3 songs. And I remember Flyleaf from back in the day. I never really dove into it, but my wife did. And I went over there and I was expecting people, like, oh, there's some older people coming to cut. It was all young kids like crying and freaking out. I was like, I even sent a picture to the guys. I was like, look at this. Because it was a side stage. It wasn't like main stage. Like, a lot of times main stage crowds are big because they don't want to leave main stage.
Right.
There was a side stage. all the way back, as far as people could see, just people. And I was good for them. That's so cool. But yeah, I guess they're back.
They're back, baby.
Yeah,
Back,
we're so back.
Woo!
Well, thank you guys for talking to us today. You're currently on the Rise of the Roach tour, which I guess is kind of halfway through, or how many more dates do you have of this?
I think we have another week and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're close to winding up.
Well, then this is going to come out after the tour is done. So
if you missed
yeah.
it, too bad.
yeah,
Why
where?
weren't you here?
Yeah, on the bus. Where will you be next? Where can people find you for the rest of the year? What you got coming up?
Yeah, we're doing a European UK tour with Landmarks coming up toward the end of the year. We're doing some stuff in Mexico, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and then we're doing obviously the Emo's Not Dead cruise in
Right.
January. There's a bunch of other stuff in the works for next year, but nothing to announce yet.
Cool. Anything to get out of the winter?
Spend
Spend the winter
getting the heck
in
out of here.
Central and South America.
Except
Sounds
it's looking like we're probably going to be in the dead of winter.
hell
Somehow
yeah.
we become a winter band.
Okay.
I don't know the competition of everyone wants to tour in summer or fall.
Yeah.
And, our team is smart and they're like, well, if you can wait, let's wait and do it at a different time when it's never. I'm like, damn it.
So winter 2026, we're going to be chilly on the road.
Amazing.
I mean, we saw you winter 2025,
Yeah, that's
basically.
true.
Yeah.
Get your coats, get your jackets ready, go ahead and pack your winter outfits. We'll be on the road.
Get some hot chocolate. Come see Underoath.
Amazing. Well, thank you again. Always good to speak to you and hang out and listen to your music and all that stuff. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
The first
Freaking
time
A.
I've hung out with Chris all tour.
Yeah.
Good.
Get out of here.
So
ASAP.
This is what they say about like guys only hang out if there's a podcast.
and music brings us together.
Yeah.
You know?
We ride on separate buses. No eye contact
Can't
at
do
all.
it. Don't look at me.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
see you in the next
Yeah.
city.
See you on stage.
Yeah.
I don't even look at him on stage, to be honest with you.
He's back there. He's doing
I
his
wouldn't
thing.
look at me either.
You're
if I'm frank.
You're going crazy. You cannot be
Yeah,
not
it's
looking.
no, it's
When
unfortunate.
Yeah.
When I really first saw you guys, what was that, Radius? Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
The foyer
And I was like,
tour,
yeah, and I was like, oh my god, he's going insane.
Yeah.
That's
that was,
a party
that was
guy.
after we talked to you too. We were
Yeah,
like,
I just embarrass. I embarrass myself and Spencer. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Good. If you can't see
We
you,
don't-
you're good.
We don't get along at all. Like, we don't have any pre-show rituals together. We actually have separate green rooms. It's crazy.
Okay.
Separate rituals.
Yeah, there's just secret beef going on within.
You
all
know
of
we're
these
posting
bands.
this, right? Like,
yeah,
you know this
no,
is
I
gonna
mean,
be...
he was trying to figure out a way that we could actually play like alternating shows where
Yeah.
like I'm on stage and then somehow he's on a different
I'm gonna
stage.
start doing the Post Malone thing, or what he used to do, like that, where you just have tracks and I can
Yeah.
just walk
Oh,
around
yeah.
by myself.
Okay.
Dude.
That would really be ideal for me.
Again,
Me too.
we're cutting the cost here. It's the MacBook.
cost
on the back.
savings.
Yeah, you know the tariffs are they're just killing us.
And then but he'll still be on tour, and he'll do the after party where he just has a MacBook and
Okay.
almost
Yeah.
like an emo night thing where he can play songs, but he's
Yeah.
not singing, so it's like it's
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
fine.
a little beep boop boop beep in there
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
you know?
not actual music.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like beeps and boops.
Soundscapes.
buttons.
And beat
Buttons.
Listen, the
Yeah.
art house crowd is gonna really like that.
I will be shaking my butt while crying and
Yep.
making beats.
There we go.
It all comes
There
back
we go.
around.
All right. Thanks again, Underoath, Spencer, Chris.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Woo!